Good evening, everyone. I apologize for starting a few minutes late. Welcome to the New York Symposium with Diane Sare. I'm Diane Sare, running as an independent LaRouche candidate against Kirsten Gillibrand, the senator from the military-industrial complex. And I can hear that my dog is not pleased with her either. We are going to have a very special program tonight with Dave Christie, who has been doing some work on the connection between the Pentagon and the elections, and also a good friend who many of you know, Pasta Jardula, who actually has done a lot of work observing elections, maybe known most recently for his trips to Maui and also his filling in for Jimmy Dore on some of his programs. Now, just in case people underestimate the importance of elections, it is very useful that the House of Representatives has to be elected every 2 years. And we just got what I consider to be a little bit of a breakthrough here in New York. A couple of weeks ago, I wrote a letter, actually now a month ago. You may remember that when South Africa had filed their case with the International Court of Justice, a group of 200 congressmen said that the case was, they sent a letter to Tony Blinken saying the case was absolutely without merit, that the charges were outrageous, that South Africa, had no authority to do this. And that letter included 14 members of the New York congressional delegation. Now, Richie Torres has gone extreme hardcore and has left the Progressive Caucus over their support for ending the genocide in Gaza. But on the other hand, two congressmen, Nadler and Dan Cohen, yesterday have now called for a ceasefire. And 1,000 or more constituents of Cohen sent him a very strongly worded letter, especially in the wake of the findings by the International Court of Justice that indeed it looks like genocide is being perpetrated by Israel. And not only that, they've expressed an intent to commit genocide, and this has to stop. And we will be judged by history. Now, if there were not going to be elections in 2024, probably Cohen and Nadler wouldn't feel they had to respond, wouldn't feel they had to change their policy. But like many of you listening, I myself have reason to believe that our elections are not exactly transparent. I'll put it that way. And I have a few more things to say, but what we are going to do right now is leave YouTube. So those of you who are watching live on YouTube, please look in the description of the video. We are going to switch over to Rumble so that Dave Christie can freely make his presentation and Pasta can freely respond. And maybe I will share again some of my slides from the 2022 election where my vote somehow went from over 57,000 down to 25,000 actual votes on television in front of everybody. But there is a reason for this, and it has everything to do with Chuck Schumer's recent trip to Kiev and the desire for Biden to have a proxy war with Russia. So, Dave, if we could switch over now and let me know when we're on Rumble, and I'll turn it over to Dave Christie.